How's it going, guys? JP here, and welcome back to my entire DVD and Blu-ray collection, part number 3, where we're going to be looking at every single DVD and Blu-ray I own, talk about each one briefly, and with that said, let's jump into part 3. First up, we have Bloody Birthday. This one was kind of average to me. I remember it being very, very average. I think I might have even rated it like a 5 out of 10. It's about some killer kids. I'm not a huge fan of killer kids. They don't really work for me too much. There are your exceptions like Children of the Corn and Pet Sematary, but overall just don't work often for me. I think Children of the Corn was more about the cult and less about the kids. Cults creep the fuck out of me, so Bloody Birthday, kind of average from what I remember. After that, we have Blood Runs Cold, which is a super, super low budget modern slasher. Now, in terms of story, it doesn't really have a whole lot to offer. It's kind of mediocre, but once you find out what it was filmed for, which I don't remember exactly, but it was, you know, a couple $1,000s, and, you know, the environment and the blistering cold, you really start to appreciate it. And I love horror films set in winter settings, and this one definitely, you can feel the cold in this one. It was pretty cool, put out by Bloody Disgusting Selects. I recommend checking that one out, actually, if you like slashers. After that, we have Boogeyman. This one is terrible. It's a PG-13 Hollywood garbage film. Oh man, this one just leaves a bad taste in your mouth and you don't even really want to talk about it. After that, we have The Boneyard and a bonus movie of The 6 Degrees of Helter Skelter. This one is a documentary. It's actually 2 documentaries. Boneyard was actually pretty cool. The 6 Degrees of Helter Skelter was a little less cool, but both I find interesting. I always find serial killers fascinating, so any documentary based on serial killers, I'll usually pick up if it's cheap, which I actually don't have very many, so I haven't been running into them, but I would love to grab plenty more because I just find them so interesting, and they're something I always want to put on when I'm just laying down and just want to throw a documentary on. After that, we have The Box. This one was really, really disappointing. I believe I gave it like a 3 out of 10. Whew, it had a decent setup, but wow, man, it just felt like pretentious and just, the box was bad. After that, we have Bug, Exploding Cockroaches from the 70s. I watched it a couple years ago, haven't watched it since, but I remember liking it. I probably need to give it another rewatch, maybe throw it into a 7 Days of Horror, you know, Return to the Bugs or whatever. That would be cool. After that, we have Bugs, which is one that I reviewed in my 7 Days of Horror. Sci-Fi Channel original. Better than what you would expect, but still it is just a Sci-Fi Channel original. A lot of CGI and stuff, but I didn't hate it. After that, we have Buried Alive. This one's kind of forgettable. I think Tobin Bell was in this one. Yeah, he was. That's about all I really remember. I don't think I hated it. I think I maybe gave it like a 6 out of 10 or something. But it is kind of forgettable. After that, we have The Burrowers, and this is a Western horror film, which I just have a real interest with. I love the idea of a Western horror film, and they don't do them enough. If anybody knows a bunch of them, or you know, some of them, shoot me a comment, and I would love to actually start picking up some more Western horror films. The Burrowers is like kind of like Tremors. I actually really like this one. This one's cool. After that, we have The Butterfly Effect, which is a fantastic film. I absolutely love this. It's time travel, and it's just a really well told story from beginning to end. And it works really well, and it's the first time I looked at Ashton Kutcher as not like the goofy That 70s Show Kelso guy. After that, we have Cabin Fever, which is one of the films that kind of got me back into horror, kind of made me rediscover my love for the genre. 2003, just, I love this film so much. It's one of my favorites of, you know, the modern era, and it you know, really, when I first watched it, it just grossed the hell out of me, and it's very memorable. After that, we have A Cadaver Christmas, which is kind of a newer holiday-themed Christmas tale. It's zombie. Well, it's not zombies; they're cadavers. If you've seen it, you know that. This one is just really fun, actually. I really did enjoy this one a lot, and I'll probably be watching it, you know, at least bi-yearly or, you know, every Christmas season. I probably will watch it every Christmas season. It's a good time. After that, we have Candyman, which of course is a damn classic. I love Candyman. Tony Todd is very impressive. The whole mood and Cabrini Green and just the whole atmosphere of the film is so great. And it actually is pretty scary. I don't really like the ending, though. That's my one complaint with the original Candyman film. After that, we have Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh. This one also is kind of a, you know, one of those situations where it's a huge step down from the original. It really is feels like a cash-in sequel. It does have its moments, and we did a whole podcast on the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror about the Candyman trilogy, so if you guys want to listen to that, check it out. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like one of those, you know, cash-in sequels. Does have its moments. Tony Todd is still good, of course, but that's about it. Candyman 3, once again, kind of more of a step down. It also has its moments, but the Candyman sequels are just kind of a sad thing. I do like them, but they just are such a step down from the first Candyman. The first Candyman is like a 9, you know, quality film, and these ones are, you know, average as hell. So not a huge fan of the 2 sequels, but after that we have Castle Freak, and this film is a full moon film. It's actually a pretty good one too, from what I remember. It's been a while since I've watched it, but you know, this family moves into this giant ass castle, which Full Moon was really good at picking like these weird locations, these grand locations to set their horror films in, and this one's no exception. The castle is, you know, dark and creepy. And then you have the Castle Freak, which is also, you know, kind of creepy. I actually want to do maybe like a full moon week or something on my 7 Days of Horror and maybe revisit Castle Freak and a couple other ones. And finally, for this part, we have Chain Letter, which actually, somebody did send me this. I believe it was Chef Justin, who I haven't talked to in such a long time, but yeah, he sent me this for free, or I won a contest or something. Really cool. This film was, you know, okay. It wasn't too bad. It was kind of it was average, but I did enjoy it. So yeah, that's about it for this part, guys. I'll see you next week for another part where we'll be, you know, knocking out a couple more films. Peace out, guys.